You'll have heard of Sam Stosur, the Australian tennis player who overnight made her way into the French Open. And you'll know that if she wins, she'll be the first Australian to do so since Yvonne Goolagong 30 years ago, when telephones had dials and TV was black and white. You'll have heard of Carleen Maywald, the former River Murray minister who sat at the cabinet table and saw every confidential piece of paper, knew every cabinet document that dealt with the Murray. You'll have heard that she lost a seat at the election, but that the government is putting her back on the public payroll as a consultant on the Murray. You won't have heard of the government casting a wider net. No government consultant wanted in the jobs ads. No, it wasn't advertised. We didn't see if there was a water economist with 30 years' experience in the field or an environmental scientist. No, an ex-politician, a former ministerial mate. You'll have heard that under ministerial guidelines, she can't use her ministerial knowledge or contacts as a lobbyist for 2 years, but these are government guidelines after all. There's nothing to stop her picking up where the election left off, on the public payroll and probably at a higher hourly rate. And did you hear about more than $500 million of public money on a sports stadium, while the government's chief advisor on social inclusion, Monsignor David Capo, laments the failure of ministerial commitments about helping young South Australians break the crime cycle. He scores the government's response as 3 out of 10. And an elderly South Australian, a woman, grandmother of 13, left to die unattended in a hospital corridor. At the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, there in the heart of Labor's western suburbs, there is an emergency department so overcrowded that she is left alone for 6 hours, only to die in the waiting room. And tomorrow night, more people will be talking tennis than hospital corridors, and with rain forecast for tomorrow, there'll be more talk about how good it is for the garden than the propriety of a former minister sliding back into the business where the electors of Chaffey have clearly said through the election result that they want someone else to look after their interests on the Murray.